take a look at the box. So it's your basic Titans Return box, and Hot Rod fell over. I want to start. Hello everyone, what's up? Prince 1215 here with another video review. Today I'm reviewing Transformers Titans Return Deluxe Class Fire Drive and Hot Rod. So here he is, but really quick, let's take a look at the box. So you've just got your typical Titans Return box. There's Hot Rod with his head shooting out of his body, you know, for kids. It's authentic Transformers Generations. It has Transformers along the side. Then here's your vehicle mode / robot mode up there. Autobot symbol off to the side, kind of split the middle. Looks a little weird. It's Fire Drive and Autobot Hot Rod. He's a deluxe class in several languages. It's ages 8+ in several languages, but of course that's just a suggestion. I have to put that on there. This is from Hasbro. There's his head shooting off again to remind you that this is Titans Return. And on the back, you've got all the stuff the toy can do. It converts. You can put his little head in there. That's weird. I'm getting to it later. Transforms in 12 steps. You can connect it to all these different Titans, and then of course you can also attach him to these other toys, which you can also buy. There's a short little bio on here, as you can see. Yep, you know, the bios don't really matter that much, and that's pretty much it for the box. So here is Hot Rod, and to a lesser extent Fire Drive. And this is pretty cool. Really quick, also, here's a little trading card he comes with. Stats. Okay, whatever. Nice thick cardboard, though. So, here's Hot Rod. I like this guy. He's pretty cool. I've never picked up a Hot Rod toy before. I've had several opportunities over the years, but I've never picked up a Hot Rod. And I thought, you know what? This vehicle mode looks really great. I'm going to pick up Hot Rod just for this. And you know, I really like this guy. One complaint straight off the bat is he's weak. Yep, see? I barely had to touch him and he did that. He's very weak in the knees. No, well, not so much in the knees. The knees are fine. It's just that you try to get him to do many poses. It's these joints right here. Those are very loose on mine. At the very, very least, my toy has those loose. So I mean, you stand him like that, he stands perfectly fine, but you try to put him in an action pose, like I just had him there, then you start to get a little slippery. And it's like, and it's like a cartoon, someone's sliding on ice. So, I don't know if that has to do with how flat these feet are, but yeah. So, stands fine like that, but action poses are a little bit difficult. Let's get it on the head sculpt here. Really nice head. There is blue in there. It's really kind of hard to tell, but those eyes are painted in blue. And overall, I really like the head sculpt. And then this is going to be something that I get to more when we go to vehicle mode, but I really like that back spoiler there. He does come with 2 weapons, which are these guns right here, which again, I'm going to get into a little bit more when we go to vehicle mode. There's going to be a lot of stuff dealing with vehicle mode this time around. And so, you know, he's got 2, oh, see? Yeah, that's really kind of loose right there. Stop, man, you're going to give yourself whiplash. So he's got these 2 blasters, so pew, 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 pew. But of course, you could just throw those to the side and pretend that these are blasters like he uses in the 86 movie. And so it's, you know, entirely a thing that is possible. One thing with his elbows is that when you have them down like this, it kind of looks like they want to extend. They do not extend any. Because when you have the elbow out all the way, that's what it looks like right there. It's kind of a weird, it's probably one of the weirdest elbow joints I've ever seen on a Transformer. But, yeah. So, I mean, you do get a good range of motion with these elbows. So, I mean, it's not terrible. It's just a little unorthodox, I would say, and it's from how deep they are in there. So, yeah. So that is basically Hot Rod's robot mode, and he looks really good. I mean, he looks like it looks kind of like I wouldn't say modern interpretation of his G1 form, like, you know, like a movie version would be, which, not that his actual movie version looks anything like his G1 mode, but I mean, it looks like, you know, I don't think this is an IDW either. I think this is just kind of a modernization of his G1 form, and I really like it. So let's get into some size comparisons here. So here he is with the Last Night Barricade. He's a good head taller than Barricade, but as I stated in my crankcase, I noticed I called him that at the very end of his review. As I stated at the end of the Berserker review, Barricade is kind of a short and squat bot. So let's move him off to the side. And then just for funsies, here he is with Dark of the Moon Bumblebee. So here he is with them. And honestly, those two do look good together, even though that they're from two different universes officially. So, yeah. Oopsie, there went that Rumble Barricade I talked about in his review. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the robot mode. Now, let's get down into transformation. The transformation is smooth and simple. I really like it, but it does come with some interesting stuff. So these hands are a little hard to remove weapons from, as you can see. Not that one, but... So because this is a Titan's Return, they all kind of have this little gimmick. And that is that... Oh my! He's dead. And a certain portion of the fan base rejoices. So yeah, here's his head. That's not gruesome at all. Here's his head. It is a headmaster. And he can fold out, and now you've got a little headmaster right there. So the head of the headmaster actually acts as the neck. This is the thing, as you can see, this is the thing that goes into the socket here. That goes in there. Now, for transformation on these Titan's Returns figures, you have to remove this in order to transform it. I'm not a huge fan of that, but I do also, but at the same time, I do kind of like how they implement it. So, he does have articulation in the arms, and that's about it. He can't even put his hands up. So yeah, let's just put him down for now and get into the transformation of this. So, first, you can start by flipping this up, and then that goes up. So, I mean, already you got the hood of the car. You just squeeze those up and in. It's a pretty simple transformation, really. And then these will pretty much easily be in place. You just gotta click them in place. You heard a little click there. So now you just turn those around, flip out those, fold in the feet, and then these are on double hinges to where they just kind of flip around like that. You just, oh, I missed a step. Oh, look at that, I missed a step. You have to fold in the hands, that kind of helps. But then after that, everything kind of folds up real easy peasy. These legs will tab together like so. Just get everything clicked in there. And then this is on kind of a swivel backwards hinge there. And then you just, it's a little tough. And then, yeah. And there we go. And there he is, vehicle mode. Okay, now that we've got Hot Rod in his vehicle mode, you might be thinking, where does his head go? So that's pretty simple. And actually, I really do like this. So he actually has an opening up hood. It opens up like that. Just put this guy in a sitting position, like so. And then there is a little hole there. So then you can just not do that. You can just slide him out. That can go in the little hole there. Although it doesn't really tab in too well. It just kind of sits in there. There we go. And then, except now, it doesn't want to come down. What am I doing differently? Oh. I see what I'm doing. That's not how that works. Gotta have him sitting like that. Now, as you can see, he fits in a lot better, and this will now close. And then there's a little tab right there that will fit onto, and that should It doesn't snap or anything, but you should be able to get that on there pretty well. There. So now there's Hot Rod in his completed vehicle mode with head attached. Alright, so for weapon storage in vehicle mode, you can just take these and attach them to the side like so. And yes, it will matter which one you put where, because these things have those. So if you were to put them the other way, they'd be dragging the ground. So yeah, that wouldn't work. So now he's a sports car with guns on the front. And honestly, I love the way that looks. That looks so awesome. But he does look perfectly fine without them. And again, they don't come out of there very easy. So there you go. That one comes out easier. So let's see how well he rolls. Not too well. This tire is a stickler. It seems like the other tires are rolling just fine. But this tire does not really want to move. So maybe he can't really drive that well, so he needs to put up a good defense, and that's where these come back in. So they do fit together. You kind of have to toy with it a bit. Huh? It helps if you put them together like this, and then just kind of, and then they snap together. So then you can take this and put it on the front there, and that's fine on its own. That's another way you can have him have a gun on the front of his car if that's what you like. But that's not the only thing you can do with this. You can take it back off, open up the hood, take his head out, put that back on there, and then I think maybe this is the, yeah. And then he fits in there like that. So yeah, yeah, that's right. The way you, oh, well, hold on. I forgot to put the arms up. This is the worst review ever. Oh, my. So, yeah, he does fit in there like so. That looks ridiculous. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That looks pretty ridiculous. I mean, this is some sort of weird 80s vision of a sports car in 2005 with a gun on the front of it with a robot head controlling it. Yeah. If you had thought Transformers wasn't crazy enough, that is... I just love that so much, how ridiculous that looks. I mean, come on. Yeah. So, I mean, it's pretty easy to get him back into head mode when you want him to do that. He just folds up like that. Unfortunately, that does not really... There's not any room there for it to tab in, even though that kind of looks like that would tab in. So, because as you can see, it doesn't exactly line up correctly for it to do that. So it does just kind of sit there. So, that's unfortunate. So, let's go ahead and take this off and put him back in here. And honestly, it is good storage for him. If you're going to make it do that, it's good that they include a little cockpit for these guys to sit in, because otherwise you'd lose your head. And if you lose your head, then you're going to lose your head because you're upset that you lost your head. I was wondering how it's going to be able to work there. They nailed it. Alright, so size comparisons again. Here's Barricade from the last night. It's a good size. They're about the same length, actually, as we can see here. They are about the same length. Hot Rod's maybe a little longer because he's got that pointy bit, but that's Barricade. Here's Bumblebee from Dark of the Moon. So here's how these two look together. They're about... Hot Rod's longer than Bumblebee by a little bit, but yeah, so there's the three of them in their vehicle modes. And again, Bumblebee and Hot Rod look really good together for some reason. I don't know what about it, but Bumblebee and Hot Rod do actually just look good together. So, yeah. So that's the comparisons there. Honestly, I first saw these coming about and I wasn't too sure about the little gimmick. I'm still not really sure about it, but I happened to be passing by and I saw this sitting there and I didn't really realize there was a Hot Rod. And I'm like, you know what? I don't have a Hot Rod. I think I should get a Hot Rod. So I picked up Hot Rod. And the gimmick is a little silly, but I do actually like this. But it is a good toy. I do actually think it's a legitimately good toy, and it's really cool. It's nice to actually have a Hot Rod. So, yeah, that's I would certainly recommend him. He's gonna be a little cheaper than a last night toy. So if you go to Walmart and there's not, and you know you're looking at the last night stuff and it's like, well, I've got all these, or they're too expensive for my taste. Well, actually, if you're at Walmart, this is going to be the exact same price as a last night toy. But you know, if you're at Target, let's say, and the last night toys are too expensive for your taste, this is $15, and before tax, that's as expensive as it gets. Where this guy could be up to like $22 after tax. So if you go to Target, so that's a little ridiculous. So yeah, this might be a cheaper alternative for a Transformer if you're looking for one. So I would certainly recommend this Hot Rod. I really like him. I mean, come on, that's just straight out of the G1 movie right there. I love this so much. So cool. So that's pretty much it for this review. So remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff. Remember to follow me on Twitter. That link is in the description below, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.